Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's KaylahRaye. If it is your first time here or if you're returning, I'm just glad that you're watching. So thank you for visiting my internet home. Today, I'm gonna spend some time sharing some of my biggest learnings from the first 10 months of my new leadership role. I have never led a team of people before, and so I was super excited to take on this journey, but it has come with some learnings, some challenges, and I am still definitely trying to wrap my head around some things. So I wanted to take the time now. Definitely not an expert. I don't know everything. And like I said, I'm still learning every day about managing people, but I'm sure that some of you are in your first day or first week of leadership. So I wanted to at least share what I've been navigating and how I'm managing it all. So if you're interested in this topic, stick around. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you see something that you like. So let's jump into the video. So like I mentioned, this role that I'm currently in, the official title is Application Engineering Chapter Lead. And what that means is that I am a player coach. So I'm leading a team of 6. I have 5 direct reports that are developers, 1 that is a product test engineer. We are all on the same team, but I'm actually a senior developer on my team. I'm still expected to produce code. I'm still doing a lot of technical coaching and pair programming with my team, but I'm also their manager. So I'm doing things like one-on-ones with them, career coaching, and helping to navigate onboarding and making the decisions on the team that are going to impact the people as well as some of the work. So my biggest struggle has been figuring out how to balance my schedule. Everything that I just mentioned is a lot, and I've never reported to someone in a player coach role. I don't have a good frame of reference for what this really looks like because it's something that's new to our organization. So not a ton of examples on how to balance the people and the work, but I've been figuring it out. So I think the biggest thing for me has been setting aside time to think. Blocking focus time on my calendar to actually do my own work is necessary. I can't be available 24/7 because there's still work that I'm required to produce. My team isn't my only responsibility. So it's been super important for me to be intentional with the time that I'm not in meetings. Some days I'm in meetings from like 9:30 to 4. And those can be a nightmare. I mean, they're productive meetings. I'm making decisions for my team and helping to drive the work forward, but there's also stories on our Scrum board that I need to complete. So any pocket of time that I can find to write some code, I am definitely doing that. But as important as focus time is to do the work, I also have had to make sure that I really take breaks during this time. So making sure that I get up to take a lunch, that I'm getting up in between meetings or calls is crucial. You will drive yourself crazy if you're just trying to do the work. There's always gonna be work to do. There's always gonna be someone that needs help. And so I have to make sure that I'm filling my cup. I have to even get on social media for a second. Like, there are days when I realize like, I haven't talked to any of my friends. I'm not scrolling, I'm not doing anything. So making sure that you give yourself permission to take a mental break definitely can help with just making sure that when you are in meetings, you're not frustrated. So balancing life and work, balancing the different kinds of work that you have to do is definitely something I'm still trying to perfect, but some days are just gonna be better than others. I think the most rewarding part of doing this leadership role, especially for the first time, has been the coaching, just the people aspect. There's a lot of opportunities to help people grow, right? Dealing with developers at all different levels. I have junior developers, I have senior developers that report to me. So getting to provide input on some of the experiences that I've had, being able to share some of my learnings from times that I've failed, or give them advice on how to navigate situations where they're trying to learn to lead or grow their career. I love that part. I love those conversations. That's something that I wish I could do all day. You really get a chance to learn the people that report to you. And I've found that like building relationships, building trust with your team is probably the most important thing that I've been able to do. It I'm still working on, because every single person that reports to you is going to be different. So they're all going to need different levels of attention. They're all going to need varying degrees of assistance. Some people want you to be really hands-on. They'll want additional meetings. Some people want one-on-ones with you every week. Some people will come with lots of questions. And then you'll have other people that report to you that just want to be left alone. They want to do their work. They don't need hand-holding. They don't need you to send them a ton of reminders. So it's really important for you to understand the personalities and the motivations of the people that you lead. It's definitely something that I'm still working on, because I got a chance to hire 5 of the 6 people that report to me, and they're all very different. They all have different levels of experience. They need different levels of training and coaching. So it's really interesting to just be able to mold relationships with people, because it really has a direct impact on the outcome. So what I am trying to do is create an opportunity where we have an environment of trust, where people feel safe just innovating and giving their ideas. But that is not always easy, and things take time. Relationships take time to develop. So if you are a new leader that is struggling like I am to maybe get some engagement from some of the people that are on your team, or to gain confidence or build a relationship with them, we just have to keep trying, right? I want the people that are on my team to be successful. I want them to enjoy the work that they're doing. And so it is requiring that I change and mold my style to the people. I think that it's been becoming very clear to me that you can't just have a cookie cutter like style for all of your one-on-ones or all of your meetings. Every single person that reports to you is gonna need a very specific type of leader. They're gonna need something individual from you. And so you can't try to apply one method or one leadership style to every single person on your team. Another thing that I've really been trying to work on is just making sure that even in my communication, that I'm speaking about the people that direct to me as my teammates and not as subordinates or directs, but that I am talking about them and treating them like they're still equals, that they matter, that their ideas are important. I want, even though there is some level of hierarchy and I do have a title, for them to know that there is not a mentality that they're less than because they're not in a leadership role. And so my goal really is for everyone to feel comfortable contributing and leading in some way, even if they don't have a title. There were so many opportunities for me as a junior developer even to like provide my input to help guide some of the work to come to the table with solutions. And so that's the environment that I'm still working on creating for my team. But I'm trying to be very intentional even about the language, right? So the perspective has to be that we are all working together towards a common goal. And not that they're necessarily working for me, right? So that's been a big learning, and I hear it when I'm saying it sometimes, and I have to adjust myself. So I know I go back and forth between saying like my teammates, my team, my directs, but my perspective and my approach to leading definitely has been that like we are all working together. And I think that that requires some level of vulnerability, right? I have to admit in moments when I don't know the answer to questions. And I think that I don't know is a full sentence. It is a valuable answer, and it shows the people that I'm working with, I'm not expecting you to know everything, but what I am expecting is for you to go find the answer, for you to research or study or learn whatever it is that's missing so that we can fill the gaps. But I try to ask all my stupid questions out loud, and make sure that they have an example of what it looks like to fail, to get things wrong, because that's just the culture that's gonna help us learn. We learn from our mistakes. And so I try to share my experiences with them, but also to be an example. And that does require vulnerability, and it can be tough when you feel like you're supposed to be the person in charge, you're supposed to have all of the answers, but the reality is, especially working in software, stuff is constantly changing. There are bugs that we're not gonna understand. Sometimes we can get something working, but we don't always know the why. And it's important for me as a leader to be comfortable sharing that things are not gonna be perfect. We're striving for progress. We want things to be solid and done well, but they're never gonna be perfect. So I'm working on taking accountability for myself that way and leading that way as well. So accountability has been a big thing for me in the last 10 months, especially with learning to manage varying degrees of people skills. I've had to learn that I'm not building a team of little Kaylahs, right? I am not creating copies of myself. My job is not to get them to do things the way I would do them, but to actually figure out how to pull the best out of them. So what motivates them? What is going to encourage them to do their best work? Often problems are going to have many different possible solutions. So even when I'm doing reviews for code, I try to separate what's my preference versus what is a best practice or what is going to make us better as a team, what's going to make the code better. And just navigating all of those conversations. But in doing that, I'm learning that I also have to hold people accountable for doing the job I hired them for. And this has been a tough one for me that I'm still learning how to apply, even in situations where someone might not be working up to like their expectation or not delivering at the skill level they were hiring for. It's been important for me to understand what instances require direct coaching from me, which people need more training in certain areas, but also to just communicate the message clearly. Sometimes people don't know that they're not meeting your expectation unless you tell them. So I'm working on having more honest conversations, because I have really grown to love people. And so sometimes it's hard for me to tell them when they're not doing well, especially if I know that there is a family situation going on, or I know that there's something in their personal life that might be impacting the work. It's still important for me to be able to communicate the messaging, because their performance, at least in my company, is going to impact their payout later. It's going to impact merit bonuses and promotions and opportunities. So I want to make sure that they understand where the bar is, maybe where they actually are compared to it. So those are conversations that I actually am starting to have. And it's been tough just to be honest about people when they're falling short. Yeah, I'm challenging myself to show up in that way, but these are not easy conversations. As a first-time leader, it's definitely a skill that I'm learning. I think all of these things are gonna take years to perfect, for sure, but it's important to me that I get these conversations right. I know that if you mismanage people, it can crush them, and it can really have an impact on not just how they perform on your team, but their perspective about themselves, especially depending on where people weigh work in their like personal identity. Like your messaging can impact their internal perspective. And so with this level of responsibility, I'm really trying to manage it well. So managing myself, leading myself well, being careful with people, leading with empathy, leading with love. These are all things that I'm learning, and I found that like it's so important for me to even just pour into myself. Even as of a couple weeks ago, I was frustrated because I haven't had any formal leadership training. Having to reconcile with the fact that like I'm in this position for a reason. My leadership believed that I could do this job well and that I have the skills to lead people. So now I am being more intentional about what I spend my time listening to, doing leadership exercises, seeking mentorships, taking opportunities where I can talk to other people and pick their brain about how they approach leading their team, how they've handled tough situations. I'm listening to John Maxwell's podcast pretty much every day just to pull out what I can pull out, and whatever is gonna stick, I'm just planting seeds right now. Somebody will water it and God will get the increase. And that's really just, that's where I'm at. I'm just trying to do this job well. And I don't take that lightly. I feel very honored to be in this position, especially after just 5 years in my role. And not just in my role, just 5 years in this industry. So it's been really cool to kind of navigate some of these challenges. There are definitely days when I am so drained and I just didn't have a clear perspective on how much paperwork was involved in being a manager, right? So there are bonuses and people's timesheets and managing contractors differently than permanent employees and managing people's vacation time and software requests and making sure that they have the right access, that they have the right badges, even as we're trying to navigate return to work now. All of those things come down to me making sure that my people are well taken care of. So all of that definitely takes time. So going back to like carving time out to do the stuff that you need to do. This time is a commodity that I will never get back. So I am working on using it well because there are people counting on me to get it right. So yeah, those have been my biggest learnings as a first-time people leader. May 1st will be 1 year for me operating in this role, being responsible for a team. So it's been a great ride so far, just from the level of trust that my leadership has in me to allow me to hire like 10 people last year and be involved in interviews and helping to shape what our department might look like. But it definitely comes with its full set of challenges. So if you have any good tips on what you've learned in your first year of leadership, or if you're a more seasoned leader or a leadership coach, I would love to have all of your tips in the comment section below so that we can chat and share and learn from each other. I think some of my most valuable advice that I've gotten has been from other people that I know, and just leveraging my network, really leaning on communities of practice, and talking through situations with other new leaders. Hopefully this video helps you somewhere along your journey. I am growing more confident in this leadership role, and so as I find other tips to share, I will continue to show up for you guys and talk about my journey on this platform. In the future, I'm hoping to do more videos related to leadership, technology, and I'm definitely gonna continue doing my vlog videos, productivity, organization, because those are the things that I love outside of work. So I've really been having a lot of fun recording some of the vlogs for you guys. So be on the lookout for more videos from me. And if any of those topics interest you, definitely subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell so you never miss another upload. I will see you guys in the next video.